All right, you guys, I'm just trying to get my camera ready here. Sorry I'm a little late, but I am here. So let me just grab my laptop and update that, and we can get started creating a box. How are you guys doing this morning? It's freezing rain right now at our house, or at least a little bit. I just heard it hit our roof, and I was like, what is that? And it was definitely some freezing rain. So let me get this all straightened up so it's not so crooked on your side, and we're going to decorate a box. And you can see the box in front of me is something that we'll create together, and I'm creating it from scratch, and I went the wrong way here. Let me just get this all straightened up before I start talking here. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Okay. So let's just give it a second for people to find us, and then we'll get started creating the box. Yeah, so on Monday's live, I created a huge card, which is inside the box. I'm going to show you the box here, and we'll open it up. And then I'm going to be making another box similar to this, but just different elements and different paper. I'm going to show you from the very beginning. You can see, maybe you can see, I don't know, I ran out of DSP. So I had this really small strip over here that is supposed to coordinate with the paper here. Oh my gosh, my cat's crying. Can you hear her? She's so cute. She's so jealous when I talk to you guys. Let me see if I can put her on the desk. You can see her. She's great. She's our best cat we've actually ever had. She just loves attention. So let me see what she does. No, you can't go that way, sweetie. Okay. You go sleep. She's been sleeping on my backpack. She loves to sleep on bags. I don't know why. Maybe it's comfortable, but anyway, her name's Fuzzy. She's been with us since, let's see, 9 years here going on. And then when we moved here from the farm, I think she was like 3 years old. So she's getting there up there, but I swear sometimes she's like a kitten. She just runs around crazy sometimes, and other times she'll just sleep all day. So I would love to get some sleep. Actually, I did sleep a lot better last night, so super proud of that. But let's get started here. Again, I made this huge card. It was this one here. I didn't mean to make it this big, but I did. And what we'll do is I'm going to show you inside. And I said, you know, you can't mail this, right? Unless you put it in one of those bubble packs. But then you got this bouquet of flowers over here, the die cut that's kind of extending over, and that's going to get crushed. So the next best thing is let's going to use one of our kit boxes. You know, when we order kits, our paper pumpkin, we get these really nice sturdy boxes. And they are actually fun to decorate, but they're not always exactly the same size. So I struggled with putting this one together a little bit this morning. Thus, I didn't have enough DSP here. So we're going to measure because not every box is identical. So let's take a look at this like never ending card. And again, this is the one we created. So it's just tied on here. You could use a belly band if you want. I used the open weave trim. It's 1.5 inches, and it goes really nicely with the foil. It's meant to be, it's part of the suite. Oh my gosh, my cat. So this is like, again, a never ending card, or you could make an album out of it, really. So it does open up like this, but it stretches out. So it just keeps going and going and going, like it's a never ending card. So over here, we've got some panels that we can write on, or we can add pictures to. And then over here, the third one is a little flap. I used one of the tags. We're using the Wildflower Birthday designer paper. It's a specialty paper. And here's my template here. The Stampin' Up! Colors that coordinate our blueberry bushel, gold, old olive, peach pie, pool party, pretty in pink, and soft seafoam, and of course white. You get lots and lots of die cuts and tags, which is really nice. You can find it in the mini catalog on page 43 if you want to take a look at it. But let's kind of move on here. We have I used one of the tags that I created a flap, put a die cut birthday cake on there, and then up here I designed the top flap there. You can put here a picture, or you can just use a blueberry bushel Stampin' Right marker and write a little note over here, the same thing, and then it just keeps going and going and going. So here's another flap, created basically the same thing. I added some flowers up here underneath the flap, and then I just used one of the tags. And then if we stretch it out some more, we've got another birthday cake here. And then on this one, I kind of designed the box around that. So you can see I've got the nice DSP underneath, and then this is kind of that backdrop for your elements that are going to go on top. It needs to be, you need to have something underneath it so you can see the die cuts, or else they all kind of blend in. So I kind of created it this way, except for I did not use, on this one, I didn't use cardstock on the edges there. And then here's another little open flap. I've got cupcakes on the top of it, and then a nice little balloon and some more die cut flowers. You can write a little note there. And then it's not going to fit on my desk, so I'll be running careful, like totally careful. Somehow I used 1 or 2 extra sheets of cardstock. I have no clue how I did that. That's just a die cut flower. Looks really nice on the pretty in pink. And then we've got a cupcake, the balloons, another little framed. You could make this into a tag if you wanted to. I just put it on straight onto the DSP, and then we finished it with a cake. So you could keep going on and on and on with this. It's totally how long you want to make your card. So this would look, I think this would look really good with our Thoughtful Journey designer paper. That's a scenery paper, so you could create lots of different scenes on it. I might give that a try for my husband's birthday coming up in March, just around the corner, actually. So let me just fold this up, and I'm going to tie this in a bow, and then we'll open up the box so you can kind of see how I created it, and then we'll make it together. How about that? If you have questions or comments or what have you, just put those in the comment box. Share this video, like it, give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome, because still trying to grow my channel. Of course, we're always trying to grow our channel. Trying to get to 10,500 subscribers. My kids would just, I have not told my kids that when I first created my YouTube channel, they were like, Mom, I don't know, you know, and I was like, I'll be thankful if I just get 1 subscriber, right? So I don't think they were thinking I was going to get any, but I don't know. They're nice kids though. But they would be probably shocked if they knew how many subscribers and followers I have. So I do appreciate you guys following along. I know I'm not consistent, but I am doing the best I can. All right, so let's kind of talk about the box, and then we'll get going. So you guys know on Monday, I liked adding the gold trim around the box. And so that's what I did. But on the front here, since I've got so many little pieces, I actually put this piece of blueberry bushel and DSP on top of it. That way it would be a little bit more secure. So then if we open the box, and I made a mistake about, actually, I should not have tied this in a knot, because now I'm going to have to, I'm hoping I can get this. Yes, I can. Just using my piercing tool, I can unknot this. I didn't want to cut this ribbon off and start all over again. So let me see if I can just get this loose enough so I can untie it. There we go. All right, so that just kind of goes like that. And then just open it up. And then I use paper pumpkin, always comes with tissue paper. A lot of it's blue, or our kits are the same thing sometimes. So I reuse things that I get in my kits or what have you. But here's the smaller card, never ending card. It's called a concertina card, I believe. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But I did learn this from Ann Wheaton, and I believe she's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator overseas. So I appreciate her showing this, and I just wanted to recreate it. It looked like a lot of fun to create. So that's how I boxed it up, and we are going to Wing It Wednesday, because today's Wednesday. It's my Wing It Wednesday day, and we're going to start from the very beginning and go all the way to the end. Like I said, boxes are not made equal. So here's one of the boxes that we get with our kits. Paper Pumpkin is a little bit different, but these are your standard Stampin' Up! Boxes that hold kits. So for me, I did not like, I didn't want to have a border of brown around here, around the edge, except for I can't help it on this, the little flappy thing, but I wanted my cardstock to go to the very end. So you need to get a trusty ruler out. This is the only way you can do this. And like, I had all these measurements written down, but I know that this box is not exactly the same size as the one I decorated. So you definitely need to use a ruler. And let me grab my pen. Got some scratch paper over here too. Let me see if I can just zoom out. No, that's as far as I am. I feel like I'm so close, but we'll try my best. So I'm going to use Mark's ruler here. So you're going to get down to the 16th of an inch. Unfortunately, if you don't know a ruler, every one of these tick marks is a 16th of an inch. So I'm just lining my ruler up to the edge here, this one here, not including the outside one. I don't care about that one. So this measures, let's see, 9 1/4 plus 1 tick mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy, it's almost 9 5/8. So I'm going to go 9 5/8 because I can always cut it down. I don't want to be short. So 9 5/8 across. And then if I rotate it, I'm going to find that that's 6 1/4. So that's great. That's an even, not like an even number, I call it. So 6 1/4. And that is the top. So I'm going to just write this over here. I'm going to move over a little bit so you can see if you want to write down these. And then I'm going to flip it over. Oh, wait, and that's going to be my cardstock, okay? And then my DSP is just going to be 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So that would be 9 and, let's see, 9 1/2 by 6 1/8. And that's the top, and it's the DSP. All right, so now the bottom. We'll flip it over because this is different size. It's actually bigger. So I'll put my ruler on the very end here. And then I'm going to go all the way over. And it looks like it is 9 3/4 less 1 tick mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 16ths. So 9 11 16ths. You could call it If you measured it, if you went to your trimmer and went to 9 3/4 and then deduct one of the lines, then you'll be, if it's easier for you to do it that way. And then the width is going to be 6, let's see, 6 1/4 plus a tick mark. So 1/4 plus a tick mark. We'll just write that. All right, and that is my bottom cardstock. Okay, and then my DSP is just going to be 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that'll be 6 1/8 over here. And then 9 what is 9 and 11? I gotta look at my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. I'm horrible with math, so just bear with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right, so it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 sixteenths. So 9 sixteenths. Okay, so again, it's going to be 9 9 sixteenths, and that's the bottom DSP. So we got our top and bottom all measured out. And now we need to go to the long sides. They will be the same, I believe. We can just double check that. So the length here is, I'm going to call it 9 1/2 plus 1 tick mark. So let me just go on a second piece here. So the sides and the long in its cardstock is going to be 9 1/2 plus a tick mark. Then the height, I'm going edge to edge, by the way. It's because I don't want any of this brown showing. So then the height is 1 and I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch. It's like less than a 16th. So, so 9 1/2 by, so 9 1/2 by 1 3/4 is what I want. And that's the cardstock. So I'm just gonna plus a tick mark. Okay, and then, so we want 2 of those. And then our DSP is just going to be a little bit smaller than that. And I am going to rewrite this because it's a mess. This is how I make mistakes when I make messes here. So sides are long, and the sides that are long in the cardstock is going to be 9 1/2 by, and plus a tick, 1 3/4. Okay, and then that's the cardstock, of course. And then the DSP is going to be 9 3/8 by 1 5/8. Okay, so that is your long. Now the sides, oops, short, and cardstock, we don't want that. Okay, so the cardstock is going to be, of course, it's going to be the same height. Okay, so I'm just double checking. 1 3/4. And then the length here is 6 5/8. Very close. I have to trim that down a little bit. Okay, and then the DSP is going to be 1 5/8 over here, and then 6 1/2. Okay, so I'm gonna think a little bit. Oh, I know what I did, because I did change something, and it was the top and bottom DSP, because I wanted to maximize my DSP. So that meant I couldn't go over 6, right? Because it's 12 by 12. So I just took off the 1/8 of an inch and called it good. Okay. So that's what I'll do on this one. Okay, so hopefully that's not too confusing for you guys. But always measure your boxes, because they're not always the same, okay? And if you have to double check. Take that time to double check. So now what I'll do is I'm going to cut all of my cardstock. So let me grab my paper trimmer. And I'm going to use the blueberry bushel, because that is the card stock that is on the card as the card base. So I wanted to coordinate. So I'm going to do, let's see, it doesn't really matter. So I'll start with the top, and I've got to go lengthwise for my cardstock, because it's 8.5 by 11. So 9 5/8, go all the way over here, 9 5/8 by 6 1/4. So 6 1/4. And now we can just double check it. Just put it over here. It might be a little bit too long. Wait, what did I do wrong? This one's the bottom. I must have gotten those mixed up. Sorry. Bottom, and then that's the top. So, because this one's perfect. I just wrote those wrong. Okay, so that is the bottom. Write on it and say bottom. Okay, because these are very similar in size, the top and the bottom, that you don't want to make a mistake. So you can write on them, because it's going to get covered up. Save this, because we'll need it for the edge pieces or the side pieces. And now we're going to create the top, which was, oh my gosh, there's a kitty ken, 9 1/2 inches. And I'll save this one. Maybe we'll use it. Maybe not. So 9 1/2 by, let me just look at that again. I got confused. Sorry about that. Let's go 6 1/4. And I'm just going to double check it. Oh no, she's got my, hey, get out of there. She had the ribbon or the trim from that other box. It was hanging down on my desk. That one's a little bit too long, so we're just going to trim a little bit off. So this is like a, basically get your measurement, make it a little bit bigger if you have to. Now that's perfect. That's a perfect fit, because when you're talking 1/16 of an inch, your ruler can be off. So just take the time to maybe just cut it a tiny bit bigger. I marked that top, so I knew which one of that was. Now the sides, we do have these pieces left over. So I know that they need to be 1 3/4 inches tall. So I think that's 1 3/4 at least, which it is. So we're just going to cut this off. I'm going to chuck that because I don't need it. And then the length. So 9 11/16. So hopefully, oh no, it's not going to be long enough. Of course it's not. Let's see. Let me just double check. 9 11/16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Oh, it's off by like 1/8, like an eighth of an inch. So let's see if it will fit. Yes, actually, it's perfect. Maybe just a little bit too long. So see, be careful with your rulers. So I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off. Just double check here. Yep, that's actually perfect. All right, so I'm going to create one that is identical. Now this one is actually, this one's going to work too. I'm trying to minimize the cardstock that I actually use. Okay, and then I can just trim this down. I'm just putting one on top of the other. And there you go. Okay, so those are the long pieces. You got 2 of those. And now the short. I'm going to have to grab a scrap maybe. I keep my scraps in these nice little Stampin' storage little folders, so I can grab them easily. And I'm just looking for something that might be long enough and tall enough for the short sides. So again, 1 3/4 of an inch is the same height. And then the length is, I think it was like 6 and let's see, 6 1/2. Let me just double check. No, 6 1/4. So 6 1/4. And I'll just put this on top here just to make sure it's long enough, which it should have been 6 1 tick mark. I'm okay with that, but I'll make this one 6 1 6 1/4 and a tick mark. So those darn tick marks, you never know. All right, so that one will get cut off. And again, I could have just double checked one more time. It's okay to triple check your work. 6 1/4 plus a tick mark. So 6 1/4 plus a tick mark is about that much. And I'll just double check here with my box. Yep. Okay, so that's great. I've got all of my top, bottom, and sides for the cardstock. Now we got to cut the DSP. That's where you don't want to get, like, I got plenty of cardstock, but I don't have plenty of DSP. So I'm going to try to get this so it works. On the other box, I don't think I showed you the bottom, but I wanted a different color on the bottom. So I chose the one that has a little scallops in gold foil. So I don't think that this one is big enough so that the scallops run downwards. So they might have to go, I'm going to like them going to the right. So, and I'm okay with that. So again, we're going to, you can do this another way. So let's find the bottom, and what you can do, this is actually might be a little bit easier, especially when you're working with 1/16 of an inch. You can adhere this paper right down, okay? And we know it's got to be 1/8 of an inch smaller. Glue it down and then cut it off. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to work with, I used Stampin' Seal on the first one. But what I think I want to do on this one is I'm going to use some tear and tape. Just because, you know, if somebody wants to use this box over again, I know for certain that it's going to stay really put together. Plus, with the tear and tape, I can get, oh shoot, I don't want to get exactly to the edge. Well, this is going to be, this one actually doesn't matter because it's going to be the flip side. This is the side that's going to be actually touching the box. And on the other side, it'll be the DSP since I already started the tear and tape. But with tear and tape, we can get right to the edge. Whereas like a tape runner, liquid glue, that just oozes out when you need to get to right close to the edge. So I love to use tear and tape. Plus, I feel like it's a little bit more secure. So I'm just doing the same thing I normally would when I cover my journals or what have you. So I put it all the way around the edge and then a few strips in the middle. Let me just take my bone folder to get all those air bubbles out to make sure that adhesive is very strong and it's not going to come off the paint. Like when you take the back sides off, if you don't have this all the way down, then the adhesive is going to come off. So that's going to be touching the box. Now on the top here, we can glue our DSP on here. Oh, it's raining again. So what I want to do is take this tear and tape. I don't know if you can hear it. It's freezing rain. And I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch, a little bit more, in from the edge of the paper. If I go beyond that, then that adhesive is going to be showing and you'll have to take it off. So I'm pretending that this tear and tape is the edge of the DSP. And I think I just ran out. Let's see. Yep, so that's okay. I've got more. I got another little small one here. These all come from kits. And I love the kits because they give us so many extra supplies that we don't use. And I just carry them over to other projects. All right, one more side. And then, of course, I'm going to put some in the middle. Let's take my bone folder and we'll just press that down. I hope the weather is good where you live because, tell you what, not looking good out there. All right, so then this is the top. We're going to take all the backings off. All right, then I'm going to take my DSP and I'm going to just put it down 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So I'm going to start, tear and tape is so sticky. So let me just take my time to do this. Once you get the top and the bottom, oh shoot, no, I can't do it this way, Karen. That was so stupid. Oh my gosh, you guys, maybe I shouldn't do lives in the morning because now, oh gosh, I need to cut it shorter. How am I going to do this? I'm like really ruining this box or the DSP, but I'm going to try to salvage it. This is not going to work. I don't know why I thought of it this way. All right. Sorry, you guys. But you guys get to see how I fix things too, so that could be helpful. I want it to be 6 inches because then we can salvage, we can use 6 inches across. So let's see, 6 inches. Nine and a half with the tick mark, so 9 3/8. Let's hope this is correct. Yeah, but I think my adhesive is going to be showing. But I'll have to just take an eraser and take it off. Okay, so that's not too hard to do. We'll just remove it this way. It might just take me a bit. I can always actually do this later. Why don't I do it off camera? You guys don't need to see me unless I can get it off really quick. Let me see if I can take my piercing tool. It's kind of working. What it is the adhesive backing, I think. Or no, it's the paper. So if I just take my piercing tool and run it like down here, because that sharp edge is kind of cutting through that layer of paper, I might be able to get it off. There, it's coming off. That's good. It's coming. It's almost done. Got this little area here, so almost off. There. Okay. Now let's hope this still fits on the bottom of this box. Let's see. Yes, it does, you guys. Thank goodness, right? Okay, so this is the top of the box. I'm so like particular about directions, directional paper and such. I want my scallops to go into the right side. Normally I'd have them go this way, but I didn't have a big enough piece. And that's okay. So I'm going to flip this over and then it's going to go this way. Okay, so let me just remove these little strips here. And then we can place this one on and the bottom will be done finally. Okay. So now I'm just going to start with one corner. My eyes are looking on the one corner over here. And then everything else kind of goes down in place. You may want to take your bone folder. It's easier to do it this way just to make sure the adhesive sticks on there. Okay, it's not going to come off. I'll clean up those edges later. Okay, so now there's the bottom. Phew. Okay, so let's see the top. I'm going to double check that this is the correct size. Okay, I think it looks good. And we do know that we need a piece of DSP that is 6 inches. That's how we're going to maximize our paper. then what I can do, I might have to cut there. I'm going to center this on here. This is an easier way to do it. I should have thought of it this way. And I know this is how I did it earlier this morning. I just made a little tick mark with my pen as to where I need to cut it off. So let's just take that, trim it off, and we'll just double check. Yep, there we go. So that was so much quicker, right? Oh, Lord. Okay, so now we'll just take some tear and tape again. Find the end of it. I got my woodpeckers back. It's going to be pecking all day long. It sometimes gets a little annoying listening to it, but it is back. Working hard, trying to find some bugs. All right, we got one more edge here. I'd like to tear and tape. It can get very, very close to the edge. So I'm going to show you, and I don't know if you'll be able to see or not. This is why I use my bone folder, and it's because, see here, I didn't get that stuck down 100%. Okay, so if I was to take that off, the adhesive would come with me, okay? So that's why take the extra time to get that adhesive really stuck on there, okay? So this is the top. We marked it top earlier, and we'll just center this. This one has a little bit bigger of a border just because we're maximizing the DSP. It should be, if you really wanted to go with 1/8 of an inch, it would have been cut 6 1/8, and that way we wouldn't be able to maximize our DSP. Okay, so now we're going to bring our box in here. Okay, and just turn it to see if there's a direction that you like it better in. And this one, it doesn't look like it really matters too much. Once you get everything cut correctly, it gets assembled very, very quickly. All right, going to my last, this is a brand new or very brand new roll of tear and tape. And this tear and tape from the catalog is just a tiny, is it a bigger or not? No, nope, it was an optical illusion. It looked a little bit bigger. If you don't like tear and tape, by all means, use your adhesive of choice, whether it's liquid glue, Seal, Seal Plus. I'm passionate about using tear and tape when I'm creating any kind of boxes or adding cardstock and DSP to journals, journal covers. I want to know that it's going to stick and stay stuck. Okay, so now we'll bring this in. I'm going to just give it a last chance look. It's really not directional, so we'll just add this on. edge to edge there. And then I'll take my bone folder. Okay, so now we have the top and the bottom created. There's the top, and then, oh shoot, wait. I put my scalp, did I put my scalps on wrong? No. Okay, so there's the top and the bottom, and now the sides. I'll show you how to do this. And I need to cut some DSP. So let me just double check these are the ones that I threw. Yes. I just want to make sure I didn't pick up the wrong paper. Okay, yes. Okay. So this is 1 3/4. So we're just going to reduce it down by 1/8 of an inch. And the length is 9.5. Or very darn close to it. Okay. Yeah, 9.5. So I'm going to go 9 3/8 for the length. And then the cardstock was 1 3/4, so we'll just reduce it by 1/8 of an inch. So that would be 1 5/8. And I'll just double check. Yep, and then we need another one that's 1 5/8 for the second side, long side. Okay, so they'll put those together and put them up there. And now these are, there we go. That's the shorter side. So again, we know it's 1 3/4, and the length is, this needs to be about 6.5. But I think we'll have to cut off a tick mark. She's distracting me. It's okay to cut it a little bit longer. That way you have a little wiggle room. Oops. That's perfect, spot on. Then I should have one more piece of cardstock, which is here. Yep. So I'm gonna have to, oh man, this is just a little bit off. I don't care. I'm gonna use it because it's just a tiny bit off. Or no, I was thinking I could maybe use it for the top of the box, but it's not the right pattern. We'll just try to center this a little bit. Maybe I can take a 1/16 of an inch off this, and that way it won't look so big. Put it on the back side maybe. Or the, this isn't a side piece, Karen, not a back side. Woo! Okay, now this piece, let's just grab our tear and tape again. And it's going to be really quick. I will probably, I guess I'll put some on the ends. I was thinking I wouldn't, but I think it's just 1 inch or less than, so. And I'll just put a little bit here and a little bit there. It's just a small piece. See, this is the time she goes outside. When I'm home, she wants to go outside around 10 o'clock. 10:30. It doesn't matter. It's just like she's clockwork. And she's just going to have to wait. So what I've been doing is I've been taking these pieces off the back side of the tear and tape, and I'm throwing them on the floor so she could play with them. That way she'll be a little distracted for just a little bit longer. This one's breaking off in little pieces. Okay. Oh, that's right. I need to get this one a little bit in. Oh, shoot, this one's longer. Why is that? Let's see. Paper snips to the rescue. Okay, that one will fit good. I'm trying to do this creation of the like never-ending card with no stamping and no die cutting, nothing like that. It's just you're using adhesive and just putting things together with no stamping. And there's only one thing that I have to use, and that is to create the slot on one of the the front side. And I'm going to use a circle punch to do that. On the first box, I tried to use my paper snips to create that little slot, and I wasn't getting exact, and it looks kind of ridiculous. So I just used a circle punch. Again, make sure you do use your bone folder to add down these panels. So this one is a little bit weird. I'm just gonna trim a little bit off so it's not so, the border is not so big. This tear and tape is a little bit different than the ones that come in the catalog. It seems like the backing is thinner, so it tears. All right, so now we have the ends on, and now it's the longer pieces. Oh, the sun's out. We go from like freezing rain to now it is sunny. We're almost done. So if you do have any questions regarding the box and how to decorate it, post a comment. That way I can see it. I'll double check at the end if there's any questions. I hope you guys give this a try. You can do this with any box. It doesn't have to be a Stampin' Up! Box, but I love those boxes and I have tons of them. So this is one of the ways I use them. Come on. I didn't have this problem with the other tear and tape. All right, we'll put the back on and then we will do the front side and I'll show you how I cut that little notch. Oops. Oh, what the heck did I just do? You guys did not see that. Oh boy. There we go, Karen. It doesn't go on the box, it goes on the cardstock first. The last is the front here. So what I tried to do was I slid this underneath for that little notch, right? And then I know it's all the way down there. I took a pen and I just made a little line there to tell me where that notch is. I tried to cut it out with my paper snips and I was not perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a circle punch just to notch that out. If you can use paper snips better than I can, then you give it a try. But mine didn't look all that great. Oops. Okay, so now I've got that together. I'm going to slide this underneath. And I'm just going to use my pen again and just make a little tick mark. And actually, let me just try that again. I want to make sure I'm in the center. So right about there is the center. I'm using a 1 3/8 punch. It's a retired punch, but I keep all my circle punches because they come in, they're very handy to use. There we go. So now I've got a nice little notch. I don't have the blueberry bushel border around it, and that's what I was trying to get on the first one. But this works fine as well. Okay, so now we'll just add our tear and tape and then put everything inside the box. And we'll decorate the front really quick. Where's the end of this? There it is. It's almost done. I'm not sure if it's faster with the tear and tape or not. I think it's actually takes longer than just using your seal. But I like, for the strength of tear and tape and any kind of boxes or journals, I like to use it. It's just my preference. After this, I get to clean my room here because I can't leave it a mess. I was going to sweep the floor especially. And then I have a date with my taxes. I got to get those done. I told my husband that I promised I'd get those done today, so we can get our tax return done. Not the way I want to spend my Wednesday. I'd rather spend it designing because I got a lot of designing to do, but I also need to get the taxes done. So I'm going to ground myself today, get a nice new cup of coffee, and we'll just have a little date with my computer and all that paperwork. Okay, so let me bring in that box from before. So I want to put this back, have a background behind the die cuts, because if you don't, you're not going to see them. So let me, I chose some different ones. So I got that bouquet of flowers. I might throw in this, I'm not sure. But see what I mean? You can't see any of these really. They don't pop up. They just blend in. So we need to break that up. So with that said, I'm going to use that scallop paper. And this one here is cut 4 inches, I believe. Yes, 4 inches wide. And let me just see if I have a scrap of that left. I might have it. Oh, it's perfect. Sweet. Okay. It's cut perfect. Yay. Okay, so now I know I need to just cut this. Always go to your scraps. You never know if you're going to have that perfect size. So we'll use that to break up the back. And then I need a piece of blueberry bushel. So let me go into my scrap bin here and see if I've got anything wide enough, which I do. And then there we go. That's going to work perfect. So this is where I'm going to want it to, let's see. I'm going to put this on here. Yep. Okay. So we're just going to use our tear and tape. This is what I was trying to do way earlier, and I messed up. So we got to put the DSP on. Now, see how this is buckling up? It's because I bent the paper. Just give it a snip, and then it goes back into place. So I'm just going to layer this on this scrap with a nice little border, 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in and just cut it down. Oh my gosh. Did you guys just hear that? We just had a lot of snow just come off our roof. I don't know how much is left up there. There cannot be much at all. But we do have our solar panels up there, so the snow gets caught on the solar panels. Okay, so that's going to break it up, right? And then we'll just add those elements to the top with dimensionals, and it should be almost done. I do need to add the gold trim, so I'm wondering if it would look, how it would look with the gold trim on top of this panel rather than under it. So before I stick this down, I'm gonna see what that looks like. So we'll just pretend this is stuck on there, and then I'll bring the trim around. Always make sure it's laying flat. And if I just have this here, because the other box, I put this trim underneath this panel here. But if this is on the top, we'll see it more, but I just don't know if it's going to look, how it's going to look. So we're just going to experiment a little bit. So let's find these die cuts. I might want to use this one. I really like this one. And then I want this bouquet. No, it's got to go underneath. I can already tell it's too messy. So I got to make sure that I have enough trim over here on the right side to create a bow. And the reason why I'm putting it on the right side is because the card opens on the right side. So I'm just trying to be as consistent as I can. So let's trim this off. It's a little bit longer than I normally would, but use. We'll add our tear and tape. Well, actually we already did, so we'll just remove this. I also have to pack up for my class I'm teaching tonight. We are using a paper pumpkin extra, like the after paper pumpkin pretty much expires, it's all done. Sometimes you get extra kits that you can order, and you can only order the extra kits if you're a paper pumpkin subscriber. And since I ordered a bunch of kits. I've got 6 of them. I have 6 people tonight, and we are going to create using the kits. And I have 4 new stampers. It's always exciting when I get new people to the classes. I'm just eyeballing it. It's probably not exactly in the center, but it's okay. All right, so now before I close this up, right, we gotta put everything in the inside. So I'm just using my paper pumpkin tissue paper that's left over, like I always keep this. Or it comes in the kits too. And sometimes it's different colors. And then I'll put my little, pretend it's all filled out. And I'll just fold this down. You can put some shred in here if you want. And now I will tie this because this is the time you want to tie it. That way everything, this ribbon or the trim is like out of your working area. I'll fluff those up later. All right, so now let's figure it out. So we want those on there, and we know that we want these popped up. So we need to put the dimensionals on there now. That way it's going to help us design it a little bit better. It's going to get the true look. Definitely want to put some down here. Okay. And the cake, I know I'm going to be using the cake. So I'm just going to create a triangle with my dimensionals, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just cut small pieces off for the stand. And then I like to use my piercing tool to pick these small tiny pieces up. It helps me be able to place them a little bit easier than using my fingers. I'm actually going to put one of these larger ones. Let's go right there. So I'm not going to stick this on yet because I want to make sure I have it correct the way I want it. All right, so I want to throw in a cake in there because it's birthday. And then, do I want this on here or not? I think it's too busy with that. So I'm just going to keep the flower in the cake. So let me just press these down really well, and then we'll remove these backings. I think it's gonna rain again. I'm going over the edge of that blueberry bushel. And then I didn't press that all the way down because just in case I need to move it. This is actually almost too big of a cake. I think it needs to be smaller. Let me just run over and see. These are the dies that I have left over. That pink cake is still the same size. So let me see if one of these cupcakes will work instead. That looks a little bit too small. Unless we use 3 of them and kind of stack them. So if we go like this. I'm not sure if I'm happy with that either. Let's try this cake because it's thinner. Oh yeah, that's better, because the problem with this one here, it's too wide. And it looked like it was so much bigger than the flowers, but this one is narrow, and that one's going to look a little bit better. So always experiment with your dies, right? I didn't think it was going to work, but it's going to work. Perfect. I love using the little edge pieces. Don't throw them out. I'm going to just drop this a little bit down from the stems here. And I'm going to tuck the cake underneath that little gold foil bow and the foliage there. And now we'll squish it all down. And there you have it. I don't think you need to put any embellishments on it because of all the gold foil. It's already sparkly enough for you. So let's see, let me bring in the other one here. Move these die cuts out of the way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put both of these on. Let me just raise my camera. Close your eyes. I'm going to raise your camera up a little bit. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I just want to be able to put these side by side. Every time you tie the bow, it usually has one end that's longer than the other. But I know you probably can't see both of these. Let me see if you can go this way with them. But anywho, that's how I decorated my box for that never-ending concertina card. So if you missed my concertina card, it is on my YouTube channel under the live playlist. And that was on Monday. And then I will keep this video up, even though I made a ton of mistakes. It is what it is, right? Okay, don't forget about my ordering special, which is you can get 4 card kits from the Happiest Day card class. You can, the cost is $25 for the class, or you can get it free when you place a minimum $35 product order, or and also I have my retreat that the last day to register is this Friday, February 28th. So don't forget about that. And I will be designing Card Club, and that will be coming out very soon. So make sure you're on my email list. That way you'll see all of the offerings that I am bringing to you. And I hope you have a lovely day. And it's almost sunny again. So you guys all take care. Let me just double check to see if there's no questions. Any daisies here? Don't forget a thumbs up. Thank you, Debbie. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off and clean my room, and then I am going to get a cup of coffee and go downstairs and work on my taxes. What fun is that? All right, take care and be well.